Hello everybody, I hope you've all had a great Christmas and a happy new year. This is Robert with 50 Years of Chess, and I'm looking forward to showing you another game. Thanks also everyone who subscribed. We're up to over 270 subscribers now, and that's really, I'm just flabbergasted that I'd ever even get anywhere near that. It's just been amazing, and over 10,000 views, which is just fantastic. Now, this game was played on the 21st of January 1993, which was 33 years ago, almost, on the 21st of this month. Excuse me, I got something in my pocket that's sticking to me. Right. From a bit of silver paper from a sweet I had earlier. Now, where were we? Yeah, that's right. It was a minor knockout match between Harambee and Bristol Royals. Now, I played for Bristol Royals for about a year to 2 years before we dissolved the club, because we'd only made that club because the one I was with before, Bristol Omnibus, which was my first club, they'd merged with another club, and we didn't want to go in that direction, so some of us made up this club. And we were together for about a year or so, but our venue closed and things got difficult, so we decided to call it a day. And we went and played elsewhere. But we were playing Harambee Chess Club. Now, Harambee is another name for Kenya and Africa. And their flag was the same flag as the Kenyan national flag. And if you look at the picture on the side of the board, it was called the Malcolm X Centre, Harambee Chess Club in Bristol, in the St Paul's area. The Harambee players are African, Jamaican, whatever they are, and they come together to play chess, and they formed this club, and it's been going for many years now, and it's a very unique, original club because it consists basically of black players. I can't remember seeing any white guys playing or white ladies playing for them. They may have done in the past, but they're all familiar, well known to everyone in the chess league. A couple of them I've played and put the games on here. One being George Wright and another being I can't remember his name now. He was the strongest player they had, yeah, it's a very established chess club. Now, we were playing them, and I was on board 3 behind Professor Robert Locke on board 1, an immunologist, and Chris Evans, who was on board 2. Now, Chris was a great friend of mine, and he died not long ago, and it was sad to hear his death, dying so young. But he was younger than me, about 7 or 8 years, and it's sad to hear. A great loss to me and to all those that know him. Good chess player. I learned a lot playing chess with him. Taught me a few tricks of the trade, so to speak, and we were just great mates. Of course, he moved from Bristol back to his home area of Oxford, where he come from, and spent a lot of time playing in sort of the Oxford League, Birmingham, Oxford area, and so there we are. So let's get to the game. I was playing black in this game. Great. I think Mr. Lee, G.Lee, I think his name is George. I'm quite sure it's George. I'm sure I heard someone call him George back then. And his rating. Now, I don't think he had an official rating at this time. I couldn't find anything. But judging by the way he played, I've given him a rating between 1500 and 1600, because I've seen a lot worse players with ratings of this nature, and he's certainly not that bad. And so I've given him the top end of the 1600 rating, so he can, get the we can get the balance of roughly where he's playing, the level he's playing at. So he began with e4, and I replied with c5 Sicilian, bishop c4, knight c6, d3. This is a variation of the Sicilian with white, playing against the black Sicilian. You don't see it very often, but it is a line. Knight f3, a4. A little bit of a surprise. That usually doesn't come till after black plays a6. Then a4 restrains white from playing, restrains black from playing b5. So g6 is what I played. I'm going into the dragon variation with the Fianchetto bishop, which is very, very powerful between a1 and h8. So he played f4, and I played d6, bishop e3. Now this is a bit of a mistake because I'm going to play knight g4, and then he's going to have to move or protect his bishop. It would have been better to have played bishop d2 and then go to c3 if he wished, and that would have given him something to fight back against that bishop on g7. There you go, he's played knight g4, bishop back. Now he's played bishop g7, and he's hitting that b2 square. So he chose to play c3. Better, I think, would have been knight c3 now, so that if he'd gone there with the bishop on c3, black's got knight to e3, hitting the queen, and when the queen moves I can take the bishop on c4. I castled. Now he played another pawn move. He's certainly pushing his pawns around. He's hardly developed any pieces, just two. Now he's gone to h4. I presume he's trying to attack with his rook and pawn, but I think he should have played h3 and drove my knight back to f6. So anyway, I've played h5, which is great because I've got this outpost now with this knight, and it would take some time for him to get that knight moved from there if he chooses to try to do that. So he's got a knight into e2. I would have thought he would have gone in knight f3, but he's got knight e2, and I played e6. This is just to stop the f5 pawn pushing on. So he's gone knight into g3. So I can see his plan. He's trying to support this f-pawn push. So with one eye on that, I decided that I would hit the bishop in the middle and create some chaos there. He's going to have to move the bishop, and when he does, I've got a good chance of messing the middle up. So he's gone bishop back to a2, and I've gone pawn takes pawn on e4. Now if he plays pawn takes pawn on e4 again back, he's got a huge gap in the centre, and he hasn't castled yet, and it's going to be very difficult for him. But I'm surprised he never took it, even with the knight on e4. Had he taken with the knight, of course I could take with the queen on d3. So pawn takes pawn was the move. As unpleasant as it looks, I think he should have played it. Going to lose another pawn here. So queen takes pawn on d3. But then he played rook h3, which is interesting, because moving the knight, obviously he planned on playing the rook up there if I should take that pawn on d3. But I still don't think it's a good plan. He's 2 pawns down at the moment, and I don't see any real compensation. Queen back to d6. Now he's attacking the e pawn. I could go f5. That would really defend that pawn on e4. The only thing is that leaves the pawn on e6 a bit weak, and I'm always going to have to be defending it, and I would have to move the king before I played f5. but I don't think I've got time for that. So what I did was I pushed the pawn on e5. This way that when he takes with the queen on e4, I can play bishop f5, developing my bishop to a wonderful square. So he's taken a pawn, bishop comes out, and he's gone queen into d5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I got. So I'm a pawn up. I could swap queens and I'd be doing okay. But I think I'll just move the queen away to e2 and we'll see where it goes from there, because I've got a great knight on g4, great bishop on f5, knight's good on c6. Yeah, my position is really, really good. He hasn't developed the queen side rook and knight at all this time. So he's gone pawn takes pawn. And I've taken that pawn with the knight on c6. And these knights are quite threatening near his king now, in the middle of the board. I'm really pleased with this position. So he went knight e3. Now he's attacking that bishop on f5. Not too happy about that, but I chose, instead of knight takes knight, had I played knight takes knight, he would have to go probably rook takes. And then when he goes rook takes, I've got queen takes h4 check, which is very good. Yeah, that's very good. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. But anyway, he played king f1 to get out the check. And then I attacked his queen with bishop into e4. This is what I saw myself when I looked at it at the time, before I realised knight takes knight was a good move. I played the bishop attacking the queen because I'm trying to either drive his queen back or get him into somewhere silly where I could trap it. And he went across to g5, which I don't think was that good a move, though I believe he does want to try and swap my knight off. So I played bishop attacking the queen now. Again, there's really not many places he can go now. He can only go back to... No, he can't. He can't go anywhere. So what's he going to do? Well, he played knight d5, which is probably all he could do, which is good for me because I've got bishop takes and bishop takes queen, and then after knight takes queen check, I can just go bishop takes knight, and I've won a queen and knight for queen. But I decided there was something good here I could play, which was bishop takes g2 check, and he has to go to g1. He's very close to being checkmated, and I've got to do something about that knight attacking my queen and bishop. So I took it with the bishop, and now I'm still attacking his queen, and I'm a piece up. So this is good. He took with the queen on d5 to get his piece back. He's got 4 pawns and I've got 6. And my knights are very prominent, though my knight on e3 is hanging. And I chose to go queen to e2. The reason being is I can check him on d1 and should have a good position. I can check him on f2, but he plays queen takes knight, so that wouldn't be enough for me to checkmate him if I go to f2, because he can go in the corner this time. So I played queen to d1 check, and I thought I might be okay here, but I'm the one who's a piece down at the moment. And the thing I overlooked was he's got queen to f1. Had he played queen f1, I think I'm busted. I probably in trouble, maybe losing piece down for 2 pawns, minor piece for 2 pawns. It's not. I would get what I could say. I can't take queen takes a4 because he's got bishop takes f7 check, would win the queen. So thankfully he played king to g2. I was so relieved when he did this. And so I attacked. I carried on with the attack and played the rook on a8 to e8. Now this is a mate threat. So, but it's his turn anyway, and he played queen takes on g6, which is clever because I can't take it because of the pin on the king with the bishop. But it's not a problem for me, and he's taken his defending piece of the king away with no other cover. After I went bishop g7, he's gone back, but he's lost the temper here because I've got this great attack now. Went to g3. He went to g3. Right, that's the right move, because that way, for a moment, it looks as though he's avoided checkmate. But I can go queen to g1 check, and he has to go on the f file. And it's going to come. Mate's going to come. I checked him on e5. He blocked it with the bishop because he had to. There's nowhere else he could go to avoid the mate. But the problem is he's left his queen on and I got mate as well. So I was able to get him in a mating net there, which was on the cards for a long time. He was actually losing the game quite early on when he moved his queen up into the centre and he hadn't castled or anything. I can understand why he's not graded that high, but he did have a good idea of the game and he was trying to attack, so give him credit for that. I hope you enjoyed the game. It was a good cut and thrust open game. It wasn't a boring game, that's for sure. And I'll bring you another game pretty soon, so thanks again, all you subscribers, and if you like these games, don't forget please to give us a like, and if you haven't subscribed, maybe you might want to. Thanks a lot. See you again soon. Bye.